during the day instead of at night during my lunch hour. And I've got a mount so I can. God, that's obnoxious. So I can do it while I'm driving in my car. I just picked up some lunch. Had to make the decision today. You know, it seems like it's one or the other. You know, you either can eat healthy or you can eat cheap, but not both. I went cheap today. I got Taco Bell. Okay, but I'm just gonna dive right into it. I have been doing some like stock buying, investing stuff for a few months. Maybe, man, it might be over a year. You know, I hadn't done it before because I just didn't know how or where to start. I was never taught to do it. But anyway, so I started. What makes it easy now, of course, is there's different apps. There's, of course, the Robinhood app, which likes to block its users from buying certain stocks, which is real shitty. I did have a Robinhood account at one point, and I never used it. I actually started using Stash a long time ago, like a year or two ago, and I really liked that one. But we won't talk about too much of that in detail right now. What's interesting, of course, is what's going on with the GameStop app, GameStop stock, and AMC apparently is a part of that too. Oh, my glasses. My glasses are under the seat. Forgot that they were there. Okay, but then now today, Elon Musk is tweeting about Dogecoin, which I thought had been around for a while. I thought when it first came out, I knew about it. It may or may not be true, but apparently, because, the stocks on GameStop have been kind of manipulated. I'm going to put on my AC. I turned it off because I thought it might mess with the sound. I really hope that's not too bad. I got an idea. Let's do that. I probably won't mess with the audio too much. So there's this basically battle between, and I don't know all the details, but essentially it's like people who have been investing for a long time, the already rich people who know how to do it, and they've been gaming the system for a long time. It's like them versus just regular investors, like people that are new to it, people that are not already rich, and them basically manipulating the stock market for to basically bankrupt some of the other people, or they take big hits. Anyway, the point is that's been going on, and then Elon Musk starts tweeting about Dogecoin and calling it the stock or the cryptocurrency of the people, which is kind of what the GameStop stock was. Maybe still is. It dove, so it's not exactly where it was. You have Mark Cuban coming out in support of the people on Reddit, which are there's this Wall Street Bets is a group on Reddit, subreddit, that has been spearheading all the stock stuff, and he supports them. Mark Cuban gave them advice and to hold, to not sell. The Dogecoin thing I feel like is interesting. Already just after Elon Musk's first tweet, it rose 50%. I bought some today. Rob Zip, shout out to Rob Zip. He may or may not be watching this, but Rob tweeted out that he used a particular app to buy his cryptocurrency, which in the past, if you were buying cryptocurrency like a long time ago, I don't know how long it's been like this, but you had to go jump through a few hoops to do it. But now there's just an app that I used that Rob Zip talked about, and made it super easy. I just bought what I could afford right now, which it wasn't a whole lot. I moved some other money around and sold some stock, and I might put more into that because, I mean, at the value that it's at right now, Dogecoin is really low compared to a lot of other cryptocurrencies. And you look at the value, that's what's nice about the app. You know, they at your fingers, and I don't know. I'm really curious on where it's going. If the GameStop stock was any indication of what might be going on with the Doge, it could really go up there. I've been trying to stay away. I stayed away completely from cryptocurrency until now, just because I felt like I was way too late to the game. Like, there's people who became millionaires overnight when off years ago. And I didn't have the money to invest back then, so I would have put something in there when it first came out. It's really interesting to watch, see where all that stuff is going. So that's kind of a wait and see. We'll see where that goes. If I become rich, I'll let you know. What else? I don't like the color correction. There, see if I. Yeah, the color is really weird. I wonder how I can do while it's. There's different effects that can happen. What are these? Emojis and shit. I can put in some links. I'll have to fiddle with this software a bit more to see all it can do. Oh, here you go. Here's some. Correction stuff. Fun. Which one of these? This one? I like this one. We'll go with that for now. But what else is up? What else? So I woke up with a big you can kind of see it. My lip was swollen. Like, I had something going on with my lip. It seemed like it was just like chapped, and there was something like a contusion or something. Like, there was like a crack in my lip yesterday, in the middle right here. And I went to bed and woke up this morning, and it was swollen in the middle. And I was like, God damn it. I thought it might be a cold sore. I know that I do have that virus. For those that don't know, that's where cold sores come from. But I've never really had any cold sores. So this would be like my first legit cold sore, if that's what it was. I went and I did some research to see what was the best thing for it, to speed up the healing. And they say that vitamin C and E and lemon balm were good. And so it's weird because, like, there's a bunch of stuff on the shelf for cold sores. I went to CVS right before I got lunch. And anyway, this is what I got. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if that's backwards or not. But anyway, it's just weird looking at the stuff on that shelf, because there's one that's $44 that's like guaranteed to speed up the healing or whatever. You have the cold sore for less time. And then there's other ones that were $22 that didn't do anything that actually dealt with actually healing the cold sore. It just helped. It was supposed to deal with the pain that's supposed to be associated with cold sores. So it's like treating the symptoms and not the actual cold sore. But like I said, vitamins. This has vitamin C and E, and it's a lemon balm, which both I saw in the article I was reading could actually help speed up healing, which is good. What else is going on? So I started playing Skyrim last night. Which is something I've been meaning to do for almost like 10 years, to go back and play. I did play it when it first came out, but ever since Morrowind, so like Oblivion and Skyrim, I played for a significant number of hours, but then I just stopped playing it. That's something I just kind of fell off of it. Oblivion I felt was really easy to fall off of. I don't think that one hooked me very well. Skyrim was okay for a bit. I like the setting. There's a lot of things I like about the game. I like Elder Scrolls games. I got hooked originally on Morrowind, and Morrowind I finished Like Morrowind was a lot of hours I spent on that game. But Skyrim, yeah, I've always been to go back to it. I sat down yesterday to play Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I couldn't find my disc, and I needed the disc because I have the hard. I didn't download it. I have the hard copy. Normally I would just download games, but this one was a gift for Christmas from Tara. But I couldn't find the disc, and that was likely because my son likes to hide things, and I couldn't find it. So I was like, okay, well, I let my my Game Pass Ultimate expire like last month. I was like, I know I'm gonna buy it again, so I'll just buy it now. I'll renew it, and then I saw that Skyrim moves up there, so I was like, this is my chance, because I have a Switch, and I thought about getting Skyrim on the Switch, and I was like, I'm not paying $40 or more for this game again. I'm not one of these people who like to rebuy a bunch of games. So I was either waiting for a sale, but after the Bethesda thing went through with Microsoft owning Bethesda now, I was like, it's going to come to Game Pass, and it did. So I just downloaded it. I just did the first part, the introduction with the dragon and all that, and then I just went to was it Riverwood or River Run, whatever it's called, and that first town. I just got to the town and I stopped playing. I was a little distracted. I'm still trying to do too much at once because I wanted to spend a little more time with the game that I'm building. I was having a little trouble still with the Google ads, and I think I've done some research and figure out why it wasn't working. And by the time I was getting to I was going to test the solution to see if it would work. Right then it was like, man, it's like it's after midnight. I need to go to bed. I really wanted to stay up and test to see if I could fix it, but no dice. All right. I don't know if it's rude, tacky, disgusting, or what to eat while I'm doing a live video, but I'm gonna try it because I'm hungry. And I don't want to spend too much time out here because I do have some work to do. My job is really boring for those who don't know. The contracts that we have right now with the company I work for does IT work for a big oil company, energy company, I should say. And it's a really boring job. I'm just basically doing data input, data entry. Okay. So one project that I've been wanting to do for like a YouTube thing is I want to go back and find what all the video games that have been given 10s, like a masterpiece level game from like IGN or something like that. Maybe choose just one. Maybe do a Metacritic thing where like, if it's above a 9.5, it would make the list. And I wanted to go up and play through all of them, like do a series of Let's Plays where I just play through them. And maybe rank them. If I do that, that would probably be in the evenings. I probably wouldn't do any more live video in the evening. Just do that instead. So I don't do Taco Bell a lot, but when I do Taco Bell, recently they've added the it's chips and cheese sauce as like a $1 menu item. And what I'll do is what I just did here. I actually added my mild sauce to the cheese, and then I have the chips, and I will definitely dip the chips into the sauce. But I will also dip my burritos or whatever else And I don't know if anybody, I know other people get this, but sometimes when you bite into like a burrito or something from Taco Bell, it's usually a soft taco type, or whatever, the soft tortilla. For some reason, it like tickles the top of my mouth sometimes, and it drives me nuts. But this, adding the cheese sauce, you dip the burrito in the cheese sauce first, it always eliminates it. So that's a good hack if you have that same problem that I do. So back to Skyrim. When I was choosing my character, I had a moment there where I was trying to decide which race I was going to play, and that's because I kind of wanted to play an orc because that was my big character I had that I played through the whole game with on Morrowind was an orc, and I was like, oh, I just probably as a for old time's sake play an orc and go that way. I had to choose between that or doing something I hadn't played before. So I went with an Imperial because I don't think I've played as an Imperial before. I like to challenge myself to new things, Speaking of video games, Mass Effect. You know what I'm going to say. Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which is all 3 in the series. I think they got a date. I think it's May 11th. I'm pretty sure it's in May. Looking forward to that. I was a big fan of the original series. Well, I'm a big fan of the first 2. When the third one was about to come out, it was actually a discussion I had with some friends. Like, we were going to get the N7, the Normandy tattoo, and we didn't do it at first. And I was still thinking about doing it. And then when I started playing, we actually played the third one, and I was like, I don't want that tattoo anymore. There's a lot of people that I've heard recently that they think the third one is good. I can't get behind that. It's not what the second one was. It wasn't. I feel like it didn't fulfill the promise of the first 2. I mean, it is cool that some of your decisions that you made in the first and second one, you see the results of that in the third one, which is cool. Don't get me wrong there, but I feel like there's not a lot of big decisions that you get to make in 3 that actually mean anything. And that's really what the problem was that I thought with that one. I didn't feel like, and it didn't matter. Like with the original outrage for the third one is that when you end it, like, you didn't seem to matter what you did. Like, the ending was going to be the same. Whereas in the first one, like, you made some big decisions at the end of that game. And the second one was really about the team. And what's really interesting, the first time I played through the second one, I was really confused at why all my teammates were dying at the end. Because it wasn't clear, because when I played that game, I was like, had blinders on. I wasn't talking to anybody about the game. I wasn't looking online to see about how things work in that game. And if you don't know, there's these loyalty missions. So as you're gathering your crew, they each had a mission where you would go and you'd help them with something. And if you did that mission, they would survive at the end. At least that's how I remember it. And so the goal was, like, the meta goal was, like, to get all your guys and have them survive at the end. The thing was, I didn't take that perspective. I didn't know that's how it worked, and I I like to get submersed in the game that I'm playing, and especially like that one that has a good story and stuff like that. And so I took it like, I remember them saying like, we need to hurry up and get all this stuff done because we got the big bad guy at the end and he's going to be here, so we need to hurry up, or whatever it was. I can't remember exactly how it worked on that one. But my point is, I was like, I can't spend all this time doing all these loyalty missions. We don't have time. We got bigger problems. So I did like 1 or 2 loyalty missions, and then I was like, all right, let's go. Let's get to the end of the game. So I kind of booked it. Not knowing that because I ignored some of those loyalty missions, I was just dooming my party, and like most of them died at the end. Anyway, I still like the game. I think I played through it again, or at least went back to a previous save or something. I still didn't save everybody. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the Legendary Edition because I want to see what improvements they've made to the game. I want to see how it plays. I want to see what it looks like. I want to see if it looks better. And then I want to play through it from beginning to end. I want my decisions in the first 2 and my first one to reflect. I remember when I played through the first. I only played through the first one once, and I played a pistol expert, which I thought was fun. It was just something different. I wanted to do something different, and I had a lot of fun with that game. I know it's not like they say it's not the best one, but I really did enjoy it. Very good series overall, on average. Most of the third one I forget. I remember the first level I played, like the actual, like I remember the trench warfare on one of the planets. That's like the first thing I did in that game, in the third one, and then I remember the end. I don't remember anything else about that game. Nothing. Anyway. I don't think I have a whole lot else to say. I probably need to wrap this up so I can finish eating and get back to work. I'm going to try to keep these going, these lunchtime live videos. And I'll try to do some in the evenings too. I think I could do both. And they don't have to be an hour long or whatever. Like this one's only 22 minutes. But I appreciate you watching. Like I said, it's therapeutic for me. Get to talk about what's on my mind. Oh, another thing that's on my mind is depressing as fuck, but realizing I'm getting into that podcast I think I talked about yesterday, the My Favorite Murder. That's been going on 5 years. I love it that I have so many episodes that I can just binge and just listen to, because I hate getting caught up and then having to wait for episodes on some of my favorite podcasts. But this one has a bunch of episodes I can listen to. I'm gonna have to take a break every once in a while, because sometimes, every once in a while, you get something that's really depressing in that show. I mean, they're good about keeping light, usually about it, cracking jokes, whatever. But in this last episode, I think I'm on the 6th or 7th episode. They talked about child murderers, and this is actually children who committed murders, and in both cases of the murders they brought up, this is one per host they brought up, was this Canadian murder of this girl that got hooked, that she was like 12 and got hooked up with a 23-year-old, and he said he was a 300-year-old werewolf, and they killed her parents, and it was one of the hardest things that I've had to listen to in a while. Because not only did they kill the parents, but they also killed the girl's brother, who was like 6 years old. And when you hear the details of it, it's super depressing. I think it might be harder for me now because I'm a parent. But I just wanted to at least say this because just thinking about it by myself is really tough. The details that really for some reason like shook me, because it took me there. Like I felt like I was imagining how it would go down when you really get to that granular level and you're actually thinking about exactly how it played out. That's when it gets really upsetting. But apparently the 23-year-old was killing the parents like downstairs, either in a basement or downstairs, I don't know, while she was upstairs, and she was covering her brother's ears so he couldn't hear his parents getting murdered. And then once the 23-year-old was done down there, then they come up there and they murder him. And what I can't shake and what I can't stop thinking about is what mindset she was in. Whether she wanted to change her mind at that point. She cared enough about her brother that she didn't want him to hear the murder of the parents happening. But then, is she having second thoughts? Is she think it's too far? It's gone too far, and she can't turn back? Is she afraid that if she decides she doesn't want to kill her brother, that the 23-year-old is going to kill her? Is it a self-preservation thing? Is she frozen? Is she just like, I want to know what her mindset was. And partially I want to know that because she is not in prison now. I think this happened in the 90s, I think. Because of the way Canadian law works, if you're under like 14 years old, you cannot be tried as an adult at all. She served 10 years in some type of prison and got out. And people were saying that she went to community college and all this stuff. Like, I don't know how that happens. Anyway, that's the stuff I'm haunted with today, so I'm going to share that with you so you can be haunted with it too. But I do need to go. I had to mix up podcasts. I had to listen to How Did This Get Made, which is another thing I didn't suggest when I was suggesting podcasts. That's a great podcast. They talk about bad movies, and it's Paul Scheer, Jason Mantzoukas. I know her name. I always forget her name. June Diane Raphael, which is Paul's wife. I think sometimes I forget about her because for a stretch there, like last year or whatever, or the year before, like she was not in a lot of episodes. They had a substitute for her. I think that's why. But anyway, they talk about bad movies and it's great. So do that. Check that podcast out.